Have you ever found yourself sitting in your favorite chair, a cup of tea in hand, and suddenly your mind starts racing? Bills to pay, doctor's appointments to remember, maybe even worries about family or your health? That weight on your chest, the tightness in your shoulders? It's not just in your imagination. Stress becomes a sneaky companion as we get older, doesn't it? But what if I told you there's a simple phrase, just a handful of words, that could lift that weight off your shoulders, backed by science? Today, we're talking about something that affects nearly all of us after 70. Stress that feels heavier, stickier, and harder to shake than it did in our younger years. But here's the good news. You don't have to resign yourself to it. Researchers have uncovered a powerful, science-backed phrase that, when said daily, can reduce stress by up to 80%. And the best part? It takes less effort than brewing that cup of tea. Now, you might be thinking, a phrase? Really? How could words possibly make that much difference? Let me tell you, it's not magic, though it might feel like it. It's about rewiring how your brain responds to life's challenges. And trust me, by the end of our time together, you'll not only know what to say, you'll understand exactly why it works. Let's start by understanding why stress hits differently after 70. You see, as we age, our bodies produce more cortisol. That's the stress hormone, and it lingers longer in our systems. Combine that with life changes like retirement, health concerns, or losing loved ones, and it's no wonder stress can feel overwhelming. But here's what's fascinating. Studies show that how we talk to ourselves during stressful moments can change cortisol levels almost instantly. That's where our phrase comes in. The phrase we'll use is rooted in two proven strategies: mindfulness and self-efficacy. Mindfulness keeps us grounded in the present, while self-efficacy, the belief that we can handle what comes our way, gives us courage. Together, they're a 1-2 punch against stress. Ready to hear the phrase? Here it is. I am exactly where I need to be, and I have everything I need to handle this moment. Let's break that down. The first part, I am exactly where I need to be, is about acceptance. It's saying, this situation might not be perfect, but fighting against it only adds more weight. The second part, I have everything I need, taps into a lifetime of resilience. You've survived 100% of your hardest days so far, haven't you? Take Margaret, an 82-year-old from Florida. She told me her mornings used to start with panic, racing thoughts about everything from her arthritis to world news. Then, she began repeating this phrase while waiting for her coffee to brew. Within weeks, she noticed her shoulders relaxing, her breath deepening. It's like I'm reminding myself I'm still capable, she said, that I've gotten through worse. Now, you might wonder, why these specific words? Well, researchers at Harvard found that combining acceptance, where I need to be, with empowerment, everything I need, reduces cortisol levels faster than either approach alone. It's like giving your mind a hug while also flexing its strength. And here's the kicker. The more you say it, the more your brain starts believing it, automatically. But here's what Margaret taught me. This phrase isn't a quick fix. It's a gentle rebellion against the stories we tell ourselves. Stories like, I can't cope, or this is too much. Every time you say these words, you're writing a new story. One where you're not a victim of stress, but a wise navigator of life's waves. Now, I'd love to hear, what moments in your day feel heaviest? Is it the morning, when responsibilities pile up? Or maybe evenings, when the house feels too quiet? Whatever it is, hold on to that thought. Because once you know when to use this phrase, you'll unlock its full power, and that's where the real adventure begins. Until next time, why not try whispering those words to yourself today? Maybe while folding laundry, or waiting in line at the pharmacy. Notice what shifts. And remember, you've already got everything you need. So, You've thought about those moments when stress creeps in, the ones that make your heart race or your thoughts spiral. Maybe it's when the phone rings with unexpected news, or you're staring at a to-do list that feels 10 miles long. Here's the thing. Stress isn't just something that happens to you. It's also something you can meet, with intention. Let's talk about how to use that phrase, I am exactly where I need to be, in the moments when it matters most. First, let's identify your stress triggers. These are the situations or times of day when anxiety loves to visit uninvited. For my friend Carl, it's Sunday evenings. His mind starts churning about the week ahead, grocery shopping, lawn care, you name it. Sound familiar? Once you pinpoint your triggers, you can arm yourself with the phrase before stress takes hold. Think of it like keeping an umbrella by the door when you see clouds gathering. Here's a trick. Pair the phrase with something you already do every day. Let's say you drink tea each morning. While the kettle's boiling, look out the window and say the words slowly. Or if you're like me and check the weather forecast first thing, whisper it as you reach for your glasses. The goal is to anchor the phrase to a habit you'll never forget, so it becomes second nature, like tying your shoes. Carl started doing this while watering his geraniums. Now, every time he lifts that watering can, he mutters, I have everything I need, and finishes the phrase as he puts it down. He told me, it's like the words soak into the soil alongside the water. And guess what? His doctor noticed his blood pressures dropped since he began. Now, let's add a layer to the phrase, one that science says doubles its power, your breath. When stress hits, we tend to take shallow, quick breaths, right? That's your body's fight or flight response. But deep, slow breathing tells your brain, we're safe. Here's how to combine them. Take a quiet breath in through your nose for 4 counts. As you do, think, I am exactly where I need to be. Then, exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 counts, finishing, and I have everything I need to handle this moment. That longer exhale activates your vagus nerve, a fancy term for the body's calm down button. Do this 3 times, and you'll feel the shift. Take Evelyn, who used to dread doctor's appointments. She'd sit in the waiting room, hands clenched, replaying every what if. Now, she uses those minutes to breathe and repeat the phrase. By the time they call my name, she says, I feel like I've already given myself a pep talk. And her nurse? She asked Evelyn for the secret. But here's a question I get often. What if I don't believe the words at first? That's normal. You're not lying to yourself, you're leading yourself. Think of it like breaking in new shoes. At first, they might pinch a little, but with time, they mold to your feet. Every time you say the phrase, even if it feels forced, you're stretching it to fit your life. Try writing the phrase somewhere you'll see it daily, on the fridge, your bathroom mirror, or even as a reminder on your phone. My neighbor Bill keeps a note in his wallet. When he opens it to pay for groceries, there it is. I have everything I need. He says it's like carrying a tiny cheerleader in his pocket. Now, imagine this. A month from now, someone asks you, how do you stay so calm? And you'll smile, knowing it's not about avoiding stress. It's about knowing you're stronger than whatever today brings. But what happens when life throws a curveball? When the phrase feels harder to say? Well, that's when we dig even deeper. Until next time, why not try Carl's trick? Anchor the phrase to something simple, a daily chore, a meal, even a commercial break during your favorite show. Notice how it starts to soften the edges of your day. And remember, every breath is a fresh chance to choose calm. Life's curveballs. Oh, don't we know them? Just when you think you've got a handle on things, the universe tosses something new your way. A grandchild's sudden illness, a friend's passing, or even a storm that knocks out the power. In those moments, stress doesn't just knock, it barges in. But here's what I've learned. That's when our phrase becomes more than words. It becomes a lifeline. Let me tell you about Henry. At 78, he's no stranger to curveballs. Last winter, his wife, Grace, took a bad fall. Sitting in the hospital waiting room, Henry said his mind was a tornado of fear. Then he remembered our phrase. He whispered it aloud, right there in the hallway. "I am exactly where I need to be." And something shifted. It didn't fix Grace's hip, he told me, but it fixed how I showed up for her. You see, the phrase isn't about denying pain or pretending everything's fine. It's about grounding yourself so you can face what's in front of you. Scientists call this emotional regulation, fancy words for keeping your heart steady when the world shakes. And here's the secret. Every time you use the phrase in tough times, you're strengthening neural pathways in your brain, like carving a riverbed so water flows where it's needed most. Think of it like muscle memory. The first time you rode a bike, it felt wobbly, right? But with practice, your body just knew. Your brain works the same way. Repeat the phrase often enough, and soon, calm becomes your default, even when the road gets rocky. Now, maybe you're thinking, but what if I forget to say it when I'm upset? That's okay. Start small. Keep a sticky note on your TV remote or phone. When the news gets overwhelming, let that note remind you, I have everything I need. No need for perfection. Even once a day counts. Progress, not pressure. Take Rose, who used to clash with her son over money matters. Now, when tensions rise, she excuses herself to check the oven. Really, she's reciting the phrase while staring at her kitchen timer. 2 minutes, she says. That's all it takes to reset. And her son, he thinks she's just baking cookies. Here's another tip. Make the phrase your own. If everything I need feels too broad, try I've handled harder things, or this moment is temporary. The words matter less than the feeling they spark. It's about touching that deep well of resilience inside you, the one that's carried you through decades of ups and downs. And if doubt creeps in, is this really working? Keep a tiny journal. Just jot down one sentence each day. Today, I felt calm when... You might be surprised. Maybe it was during a long line at the pharmacy, or when the grandkids were screaming through nap time. Those small wins add up. Remember Henry. He still visits Grace's recovery room daily, but now he takes her hand and says the phrase with her. Turns out, he told me, calm is contagious. And that's the beautiful thing. When we anchor ourselves, we become anchors for others too. So, the next time life throws you a curveball, don't ask, why is this happening? Instead, try, I am exactly where I need to be. Let those words be your compass. And if you stumble, that's all right. Even the tallest trees bend in the wind. What matters is that you keep growing toward the light. Until we meet again, why not share this phrase with someone you love? You never know. It might become their lifeline too. After all, we're all in this garden together. You know, there's a story about a stone tossed into a pond. The ripples spread far beyond where it lands, touching reeds, rocks, things the stone never even knew were there. That's what happens when we share calm, isn't it? Henry and Grace, Rose, Evelyn. They didn't just change their own lives with this phrase. They became that stone, creating ripples of peace for everyone around them. And that, my friends, is where the real magic happens. Let's talk about making this phrase a lifelong companion. Consistency is key. But I know what you're thinking. How do I stick with it when life gets busy? Here's the truth. It's not about perfection. It's about persistence. Even on days when stress wins, whispering the phrase once still counts. Think of it like watering a plant. Miss a day, the roots still hold. Take my friend Linda. She's 76 and has been using the phrase for 6 months. Every night, she writes one line in this journal. Today, I felt calm when... Sometimes it's as simple as, I remembered the phrase while waiting for the bus. Other days it's, I didn't yell at the cable company. Linda told me, looking back at these pages, I see how far I've come. It's like watching my own hero story. And science backs this up. A study in the Journal of Aging and Health found that seniors who tracked small daily wins lowered their cortisol levels by 30% over a year. Your words have power, especially the ones you write about yourself. Now, imagine sharing that power. Linda started a Calm Coffee Club at her local senior center. Every Tuesday, they sip lattes and swap stories about using the phrase. One member, Sam, said, "We're like a team of stress-busting superheroes. No capes required." And here's something beautiful. When you share this phrase, you're not just giving advice. You're giving permission for others to be gentle with themselves, to trust their strength. That's how we build villages of resilience. No one thrives alone, not even the toughest among us. Let's circle back to the science for a moment. Remember how cortisol lingers longer as we age? Well, long-term studies show that daily mindfulness practices, like our phrase, can reverse some of that effect. It's like hitting a refresh button on your nervous system. Over time, your body starts saying, "Oh, we've done this before. We've got this." So, what now? Start small. Keep that journal. Share the phrase with a friend, or pair it with something you already love, like humming a tune while you say it, or sipping your favorite soup. My Aunt Edna whispers it into her morning oatmeal. The goal isn't to add another to-do. It's to weave calm into the life you've already built. Stress may never fully leave us. Life's too vibrant for that. But with these words, you hold a compass, a way back to yourself, no matter how stormy the weather. Before we say goodbye, I want you to picture something. A year from today, you're sitting right where you are now, but lighter. Maybe you've shared the phrase with a grandchild. Maybe you've weathered a hard day with a deeper breath. That future you, they're so proud of the steps you're taking today. So, here's to you, to the ripples you'll create, the calm you'll nurture, and the life you'll keep embracing, one phrase at a time. Thank you for letting me be part of your journey. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Tell me, when will you use the phrase today? And if you found this helpful, pass it on. Hit like, share with a friend, or subscribe for more ways to thrive after 70. Together, let's make every year our best year. Until next time, keep growing toward the light, growing.